So welcome, have Ryan Allaire. Ryan, you're an online marketing and direct mail expert. Welcome, good to see you, man.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so when I think of direct mail, I think of something from the old days, but you're gonna tell us a little bit about why it's still relevant in today's digital world, right? Okay, but first, tell me how you got started in all this.
For sure, yeah, and that's a real interesting story. I give you some backstory. I grew up, limited budgets, family always struggled, mom and dad, and large family, small household, and I knew there was more. I knew there was, seeing the nice cars, seeing the nice homes, and so I knew if I wanted something, I had to go out there, work hard, and get it. And that's what I've always done. So I had a couple jobs in high school. I was working at McDonald's, working on a golf course, and I would go to my best friend's home, and they had a mansion, 3 or 4 beautiful vehicles. Okay. And it was a completely different lifestyle on what I experienced. And
Very
I'm like,
motivating, huh?
Right, exactly. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back to my house and share a bedroom with my 2 brothers. And this had like 3 or 4 bedrooms for every person in the home. So it was quite the opposite. So I knew there was more out there to
dangling that carrot, huh?
Exactly, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
For sure. So I went ahead and began working for my best friend's parents. And went ahead, and next thing I knew, I started in the mailroom. It was a direct mail company. And,
there we go. The direct mail connection.
Right, yeah. So I was putting on stamps, licking envelopes. And
how many years ago was that?
That was like 15 years ago.
15 years ago, okay.
So it was a fun experience, but I knew I wanted to make more than $7 an hour. So I was like, kept working my way up in the company. And before I knew it, I went ahead and structured a position in the company at a young age. Didn't go to college because I was able to make a great amount of money working with my friend's mother, and had a lot of success with that.
So as a direct mail expert, which I think I've heard some interesting developments for you, you know how to manage the process of writing copy, printing, mailing, getting lists, products to sell, services, whatever it might be, right? There's a lot of moving parts there, but you've developed some systems. Right?
Exactly, and going back to what Darren was teaching and what he specializes in. And funny story is Darren and I go way back, and we know this mutual person. That's how we met, was at a high-end mastermind. He was going to $5,000 a person to be there, and I met him there at that mastermind, and he always specialized in these systems, and I'd seen stuff he was doing. This was like eight years ago, and I was like, wow, I was impressed by the volume and business he was doing. And getting back to it, systems is very important. That's one thing I've seen firsthand, was it's to have true success and to elevate and grow and scale a business, the systematic part of it is extremely important. And that's what I learned being a part of a business and now owning businesses. I'm like, wow, it's having the system in place is what truly helps you leverage.
Okay, so this is the critical question. You didn't necessarily learn all these systems yourself. You used mentors that helped you, right? You went to experts that were willing to share this and maybe, look for a little piece of the action along the way, but that's how it works, right?
You're 100% right. Yeah. And the one bit of advice I have anyone looking to start a business or go ahead and jump into a business adventure is I would recommend getting a mentor. Someone that knows what they're doing, someone that's been there. For example, Darren, yourself, right? People that have had true success. You want to model what it is that they're doing and adapt what you see and then expand, grow. And that's the one thing I recommend is to get a mentor. And in my journey, that's been a huge power force behind my success, was I've always had great mentors.
Because mentors know the systems, they've been there, they've done it before, they've made the mistakes, and hey, look, you're a young guy, but you want to be a big-time entrepreneur, and you're moving in that direction. So a good mentor can help you develop it, share a little bit along the way. But I have to ask this question because when I think of this digital age that we have and the mobile phones and the digital everything, you're still doing direct mail. Tell me how that's going.
And it's funny because I surround myself with entrepreneurs, and a large portion of them are internet marketers in the online advertising world. And they go to me, Ryan, direct mail is dead. And I'm like, I generated 7 figures using direct mail. It's not dead. So I know it's not that. I know it's
Okay.
alive and well, trust me. And what I've learned is what they're doing is improper. And the methods they're using are dead.
Okay.
And there's things you can do, and I coined different phrases such as inbound marketing, and it all depends on what you're marketing, right?
Right.
So what I notice is people go about direct mail the wrong way.
Right.
Local businesses can use the Evergo direct mail method.
Okay.
And now let's say they're using the EDDM and
Okay.
the acronym for it, and they're scaling out a whole general area. But here's the kicker about it, is you can increase your conversions because now you have online retargeting methods that have never been there. So let's say the local pizzeria is sending out a postcard
Right.
for their 10% off pizza. Someone goes to the website like, oh, what is this? You know, we're in the distraction world now.
Right.
And what they say is 15 years ago, you would see an ad 4 times in order to buy something.
Right.
Now that's went to 16.
Okay.
So in this process, you can go ahead and start the retargeting process by someone goes to the website and now they start seeing, by communicating by a pixel on your website with Facebook,
Okay.
seeing those ads in their newsfeed. And
I got you.
now you can do things with direct mail to increase conversion. So what it is people aren't truly leveraging the direct mail
Okay.
process like you should be in today's era. And that's some really tricks that you got to
That's
learn.
amazing. Now, I understood most of what you said. You talked to, pretty fancy stuff from pixels and retargeting and all that. But this is what I'm hearing. Direct mail works better if you have some other digital things that might be taking place at the same time.
Exactly.
So it's sort of a 1 + 1 = 3 is what you're saying. So the days of direct mail are still successful if you know what you're doing. If you just go out and just mail a bunch of expensive flyers to people, it's not necessarily going to work. But you've come from that business. Now you're merging the technology of direct mail to the digital side, and that's what's giving you some major success. So Ryan, now that you've been for 10, 12 years doing direct mail and online marketing, and you've learned from some great mentors, but you've developed a lot of your own systems now too. So between what you've learned and what you've developed, tell me about your systems.
Yeah, that's a great question. And that's where, as a beginner, someone looking to go ahead and start in the online community or the business world, is where Darren does a great job on bringing people in and letting them adapt proven systems to marketing methods. And that allows them to go ahead and give them a huge advantage and a jump start. So we've systematized it in a way to where people can go ahead and plug into these methods and not be a direct mail expert.
Almost like a business in a box kind of thing, right? It's okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you don't need to be a direct mail expert. You don't need to have 10, 12, 15 years on the ground on figuring these things out, because we've spent the money perfecting the system and systematizing it in a way so you can plug into it and have similar results and have them a lot quicker because they're proven methods.
Fantastic. So I've heard a couple things. Mentors, systems, what this keeps telling me, and back to Darren and his success and working with people that have been there, done it before. You can kind of, I use the term test before you invest, okay? Like, you don't have to go all in. Like, that's what's beautiful about direct mail. You can start with a small list and then get a bigger list, right? So, so these systems and these mentors have allowed you to kind of get into this business, and now this is a full-time business for you, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah?
I mean, we have staff and the whole 9 yards.
I mean, you've done. You mentioned 7 figures, so you're doing.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, we
you're
have
doing
people
millions of dollars in business, right?
Yes.
Okay, so.
And the only way that was possible is to systematize it, and is to go ahead and be in a situation where you can scale and grow the business from an effective system.
So those that are watching right now, you think if they're interested in finding out more about it, that you're going to be able to help them with the systems and development and things that you've developed so far.
Okay, so here's the challenge I would give anyone watching this video. Take action. I mean, I've known Darren for over 8 to 10 years now, and he's been able to produce results. He's been extremely effective at what he's been doing, and he systematized this whole entire process in a way. He is a mentor, he is a coach and a true entrepreneur, and that's the one thing I would recommend anyone that's watching this video is to take action, is to go ahead, and if you're sitting on the fence, if you're thinking about what it is that you need to do in life or in your business, you want to go with someone that has already figured it out before. Right. And that's what I've learned in my experience.
Right.
So that's the one challenge I have is, regardless, whatever you're doing, take action.
Hey, starting from the early days of seeing all those fancy cars in your neighbor's area to building your now multi-million-dollar business. I want to congratulate you for the success you've had. And I think the thing that we're hearing is listen to the people that have done it before, take the advice of experts, and use the systems that you know are successful before you just jump all in and make a success that way. So thanks for being with me today, Ryan.
Thanks, Kevin.
Okay, buddy. Thank you.
Bye-bye.